Welcome back to the channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary cash, and where your change jar could be hiding a jackpot. Today's video is not just about a 5-cent coin, it's about a secret sitting in thousands of American homes right now, a coin that most people overlook, yet it has sold for tens of thousands of dollars. We're talking about a tiny treasure, the 1999 Jefferson Nickel from the US Mint proof set, and by the time we finish, you'll never look at a nickel the same way again. Now let me ask you a question. How often do you see a nickel lying around and think it's worthless? Probably all the time, right? It's just 5 cents. Toss it in a jar, shove it in the glove box, or let it fall between the couch cushions. But what if that exact same nickel, when it comes from a US Mint proof set, was struck with such perfection and precision that it could actually be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars? Sounds insane. It's not. It's real. And it's happening right now. Let's go back to the year 1999. The US Mint, specifically the San Francisco branch, was producing proof coins, and these weren't your average coins. Proof coins are made using highly polished dies and specially prepared planchets. They're struck multiple times to bring out incredibly sharp details, brilliant mirrored backgrounds, and a frosted finish on the design itself. These coins are minted specifically for collectors, not for circulation. That's where the magic starts. The 1999 Jefferson Nickel with the S mint mark was included in these US Mint proof sets. It was never meant to be spent. It was meant to be preserved, protected, and admired. And if you've got one that has been left untouched for all these years, still sealed, uncirculated, pristine, then you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. But here's the thing. Not every 1999 proof nickel is valuable. What makes the difference is grading. You need a coin in perfect condition, and that means a PR70 grade, the highest, most flawless grade a coin can receive. Now let's dive a little deeper into what this means. A coin graded PR70 Deep Cameo, or DCAM, is a proof coin that shows perfect contrast between the frosted design and the mirror-like field. The surfaces are immaculate. Under magnification, the coin should have zero marks, scratches, or blemishes, absolutely nothing. Only a few coins in the entire population ever achieve this top-tier status, and that's why collectors are willing to pay big to get their hands on one. And let's not forget, coin collecting is bigger than ever. In the United States right now, searches for rare proof coins are at an all-time high. People are pulling out old proof sets from closets, basements, and safety deposit boxes. They're cracking them open, examining every detail, and sending coins to PCGS and NGC for grading. The 1999 Jefferson Nickel has become one of the most searched for nickels from the late 1990s, especially because of its insane value potential when perfectly preserved. It's important to know this isn't just about one lucky sale either. This isn't a one-off headline. This coin has consistently pulled in high prices for years, and as more collectors wake up to its rarity, its value continues to rise. Let me give you some context. The US Mint produced millions of nickels in 1999, but only a fraction were proof coins. And from those, only a tiny percentage earned the PR70 Deep Cameo grade. We're talking about a coin so rare in top condition that major collectors, auction houses, and dealers fight to get their hands on them. But here's where things really get wild, the value. If you're lucky enough to own a 1999 Jefferson Nickel from a US Mint proof set, and it's been graded PR70 Deep Cameo by either PCGS or NGC, then you're holding more than just a pretty coin. You're holding an asset that has sold for as little as $1,500, and in rare cases, it has reached up to an unbelievable $49,000, yes, a 5-cent piece from 1999. Selling for as much as $49,000. That's more than many brand new cars. That's more than most people make in a year. And it all starts with a coin you could already have in your home. So what should you do? First, check your collection. Look for a 1999 US Mint proof set. They typically come in a hard plastic case, with coins struck in brilliant proof quality. Locate the nickel. It should have the S mint mark from San Francisco. Examine it under good lighting. Is the surface spotless? Is the design sharply frosted? Does the mirror shine back at you like glass? If it looks perfect, it may be worth sending in for professional grading. Second, if you don't already have one, start hunting. These proof sets can still be found at estate sales, antique shops, coin shows, or online auctions. But the window is closing. As more people learn the truth about these valuable coins, fewer pristine examples remain ungraded or undiscovered, and third, protect it. If your coin shows potential, don't handle it with bare hands. Use gloves. Store it properly. Keep it away from heat, moisture, or anything that could damage it. Because one tiny scratch could be the difference between a few bucks and a life-changing payday. Today, we're about to dive deep into one of the most underrated and shockingly valuable coins of the entire Jefferson Nickel series, and if you're holding a 1981 proof set from the US Mint, you need to stop everything and pay attention. This isn't just another 5-cent piece, this is the 1981 Jefferson Nickel from the San Francisco Mint, and under the right conditions, this tiny coin could be worth thousands. Yes, thousands of dollars. This is the kind of story that coin dealers talk about at conventions. The kind of rare coin value that most people still don't know exists. But once you hear this, you'll never overlook a proof set again. Let's start by setting the stage. It's the early 1980s. The US Mint is producing proof coins in limited numbers, exclusively for collectors. These proof sets weren't made for pocket change. They were never meant to be spent. Every coin in those sets, especially the 1981 Jefferson Nickel, was struck with an ultra-polished die, struck multiple times for sharp detail, and carefully sealed in protective plastic holders. The goal? Flawless presentation. Sharp relief. Deep mirror backgrounds. And that beautiful frosted look on the portrait of Thomas Jefferson that collectors absolutely love. Now, fast forward to today. Most of those 1981 proof sets are still sitting in collections, forgotten on shelves or buried in storage. Some were cracked open and the coins were mishandled. Others were passed down through families and never properly stored. And here's where things get exciting. Out of all those proof nickels minted that year, only a few survived in perfect condition. That's right, it's not just about having a 1981 proof nickel. It's about having a perfect one. We're talking about a coin that can earn a PR70 Deep Cameo grade from PCGS or NGC, the two most respected grading companies in the coin world. Let me explain just how rare this is. To earn a PR70 grade, a coin must be absolutely flawless. Not looks good under normal light. Not barely a scratch. It has to be perfect under magnification. No nicks. No milk spots. No haze. No contact marks. Just complete perfection, sharp frosted devices, blazing mirrors, and precision detail from edge to edge, and for the 1981 Jefferson Nickel, that kind of perfection is extremely hard to find. Here's why. In 1981, the minting technology wasn't as advanced as it is today. Proof coins were still hand-inspected, but the dies would wear quickly. That means many coins had imperfections straight from the mint. Combine that with over 40 years of storage, and the odds of finding a pristine example today? Incredibly slim, but for the lucky few who do find one, the value is unreal. Let's talk numbers. This coin, when graded PR70 Deep Cameo, doesn't just fetch a few $100s. Oh no! It enters the elite tier of modern coin collecting, where deep-pocket collectors will pay top dollar for registry-quality examples to complete their Jefferson Nickel sets. In fact, the demand is so strong that the 1981 Jefferson Nickel, when graded PR70 DCAM, has shattered expectations at auctions and private sales. And it's only getting more valuable as fewer pristine examples remain ungraded. Don't forget, collectors need these top-graded coins to build registry sets. The competition is fierce. Everyone wants that perfect 70. And they're willing to pay handsomely to get it. So what should you do? First, check your collection. If you have a US Mint proof set from 1981, pull it out right now. Don't delay. Look at the nickel, that's the one with the S mint mark from San Francisco. Check it under bright light. Is the background mirror-like? Are Jefferson's features frosted and crisp? Are there any blemishes or marks at all? If the coin looks flawless, it's time to consider professional grading. Second, don't handle it with bare fingers. Use gloves. Keep it protected. If it looks high quality, do not crack it out of the case yourself unless you're an expert. One small mistake can turn a possible PR70 into a much lower grade, and that could cost you thousands. Third, if you don't have one, start hunting. These 1981 proof sets are still out there at estate sales, antique shops, coin shows, and even online auctions. But you have to act fast. Because more and more people are discovering just how much value this coin holds, and they're snatching up these sets before the market fully explodes. And finally, let's talk about the part you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a perfectly preserved PR70 Deep Cameo 1981 Jefferson Nickel, then you're not holding just any old coin. You're holding something incredibly rare, and incredibly valuable, because these coins have been sold for as little as $1,400, and as high as a jaw-dropping $47,000, yes, from $1,400 to $47,000, for a 5-cent piece you might already have sitting in a drawer. So the next time someone tells you coins can't be valuable unless they're gold or silver, just smile and show them a 1981 Jefferson Nickel proof in PR70. Because that little nickel could be worth more than a gold bar, if it's the right one. We're diving into the world of 1950s US proof coins, and uncovering the hidden gem that collectors dream of finding, the 1957 Jefferson Nickel from the US Mint proof set. If you're sitting on one of these old proof sets, maybe passed down from a grandparent, found in an estate box, or sitting in a safe, you could be holding a coin that looks like just another nickel, but is secretly worth thousands. Yes, we're talking about a 5-cent piece that could fetch you more than most people's monthly salary. Let's rewind the clock. It's 1957, Eisenhower is president, Elvis is climbing the charts, and America is thriving post-war. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia is producing a special run of proof coins, not for circulation, not for spending, but exclusively for collectors. These coins weren't struck for the grocery store or the soda machine. They were crafted with care and precision, packed in cellophane inside a proof set, and sent out to numismatists and hobbyists across the nation. The 1957 Jefferson Nickel in that proof set was no ordinary coin. It was struck using specially prepared dies, polished to a mirror-like finish. The coins were carefully struck more than once to ensure maximum detail, creating a crisp, frosted image of Jefferson that stands in stunning contrast against a mirrored background. These were miniature masterpieces of minting, but here's where things get really interesting. Fast forward over 6 decades to today, and most of those proof nickels have either been damaged, mishandled, or simply worn down by time. But a few, a very few, have survived in absolute perfection. We're talking about coins that have been sealed, untouched, unblemished, and preserved like time capsules since 1957. And when those coins are submitted to the top grading services like PCGS or NGC, they can come back with the highest possible proof grade, PR70 Deep Cameo, the holy grail for modern proof collectors. But let's pause and break that down. What exactly makes a coin worth thousands? First, the condition. To hit that PR70 mark, the coin has to be flawless under 5x magnification. That means 0 scratches, 0 contact marks, 0 haze. The fields must be like glass. The devices, that's the design elements like Jefferson's bust and the Monticello, must be boldly frosted and perfectly centered. Second, the cameo contrast. This is what really gets collectors going. A deep cameo coin has a breathtaking appearance. The raised design looks like it's carved from ice, floating on top of a black mirror pool. This level of contrast is extremely rare for coins from the 1950s. Back then, the technology wasn't as refined as it is today. The Mint didn't consistently produce deep cameo finishes. So when one of these nickels shows that crisp frost and mirror shine, it sends collectors into a frenzy. Third, population. Even though thousands of proof sets were issued in 1957, very few coins from that year have earned a PR70 Deep Cameo grade. Why? Because the dies wore down quickly, quality control was inconsistent, and most coins simply weren't handled with the care needed to preserve their perfection, and that brings us to the jackpot that if you, yes, you, happen to own a 1957 US Mint proof set, it's time to dig it out and take a serious look at that nickel. Does it shine like a mirror? Is the design boldly frosted? Is it free of marks and haze and spotting? If so, then you could be looking at a sleeper coin, a small piece of metal that could bring in a massive payday, and don't think this is just hype. The coin world has already seen multiple high-dollar sales of this exact coin. We're not talking about silver or gold. We're talking about a nickel. A little 5-cent coin that's caught the attention of elite collectors and registry set builders who are willing to spend huge amounts of money to secure the best of the best. Now you're probably wondering, how much can it be worth? Well, buckle up. Because when the 1957 Jefferson Nickel proof is in absolutely pristine condition, graded PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS or NGC, it has sold for as low as $1,200, and as high as an astonishing $45,000, yes. You heard that right. From $1,200 to $45,000, for a 5-cent piece made nearly 70 years ago, and it could be sitting in your home right now. Unnoticed. Untouched. And unbelievably valuable. So what do you do? First, if you already have a 1957 proof set, check it now. But handle it carefully. Use gloves, keep the coin in its protective cellophane, and don't even think about cleaning it. If it looks flawless, it might be worth submitting to a grading service. Second, if you don't own one yet, now is the time to start hunting. These sets are still out there, and they're undervalued, for now. But once more collectors catch on to how rare and valuable the 1957 PR70 DCAM Jefferson Nickel is, prices will only go higher. Third, subscribe to this channel. Because we bring you the rare coins, the hidden gems, and the unbelievable values that most people overlook. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next video. Diving deep into the 1991 Jefferson Nickel from the US Mint proof set, a coin that could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. That if you're new to coin collecting, you might think that a nickel is just a nickel, something you toss in the tip jar or leave behind when you grab your morning coffee. But let me tell you, when it comes to US Mint proof coins, there are some serious hidden treasures waiting to be uncovered. So, what's the big deal with the 1991 Jefferson Nickel? Why are collectors so eager to get their hands on it, and why are certain versions of this coin selling for jaw-dropping prices? Well, that's exactly what we're going to reveal today. Let's take it back to 1991. The US Mint is producing proof coins for collectors, and unlike the coins you see in circulation, these proof coins are made with extraordinary care and precision. They're struck multiple times to ensure that every detail is crisp and sharp. The background is polished to a mirror-like finish, while the design elements, like Jefferson's profile and Monticello, have a frosted, three-dimensional appearance that makes them stand out like never before. These coins weren't made for spending. They weren't made for everyday use. They were created to be admired, collected, and preserved, which is why they have such a special place in the hearts of numismatists. The 1991 Jefferson Nickel from the US Mint proof set was minted with the S mint mark, signifying that it came from the San Francisco Mint. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are especially desirable because they are crafted with the highest level of precision and quality, meaning they often come with sharp detail and stunning contrast. But here's the kicker: not all 1,991 proof nickels are created equal. In fact, only a small percentage of these coins have survived in flawless condition, earning the coveted PR70 Deep Cameo, DCAM, grade from top grading services like PCGS or NGC. The coins that achieve this grade are the ones that collectors are willing to pay big money for. What makes a coin worthy of that PR70 DCAM grade? Let's break it down. First, the condition. To earn that top-tier grade, a coin has to be perfect under magnification. No scratches. No nicks. No blemishes. The coin should appear perfectly frosted on the design and mirror-like in the background. Even the slightest imperfection can knock the grade down, so if your 1991 nickel is perfect, it's already in the elite category. Second, the contrast. A PR70 DCAM coin has a deep, stunning contrast between the frosted design and the reflective background. Jefferson's portrait should be boldly defined, with sharp, crisp details, while the field behind him should shine like a mirror. This high contrast is what makes proof coins like the 1991 Jefferson Nickel so desirable to collectors. Third, the population. The number of PR70 DCAM 1991 Jefferson Nickels is extremely low. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins in 1991, but only a tiny fraction of them have survived in perfect condition. This is what makes them rare, and when something is rare, it becomes valuable. Now, let's talk about why this matters to you. If you own a 1991 Jefferson Nickel from the U.S. Mint proof set, and it's in perfect condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. So, how much is it worth? Well, let me tell you, this coin could be worth anywhere from $1,100 to a staggering $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $1,100 to $59,000, depending on the grade and condition of your coin. If your coin has earned that PR70 Deep Cameo grade, you could be looking at a 5-figure payoff for a nickel that looks just like the one in your change jar. And that's the kind of find that turns a regular coin collection into a goldmine. But the reality is, many of these 1991 proof nickels are still tucked away in old proof sets that are just sitting around collecting dust. If you have one of these sets lying around, it's time to give it a closer look, because you could be sitting on thousands of dollars in nickels. So, what should you do now? First, check your collection. If you have a U.S. Mint proof set from 1991, pull it out and take a closer look at the Jefferson Nickel. Does it look perfect? Is it flawless? If it is, then you've got a rare coin on your hands. If it has any signs of wear, it won't be worth as much, but even a lower grade coin can still bring in a nice amount of money. Second, don't handle the coin with bare fingers. If your coin is perfect, don't risk touching it with your bare hands. Use gloves, and be sure to store the coin properly to avoid any damage. If it's in perfect condition, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for grading. A high-grade coin can see its value soar once it's graded and authenticated by the experts. Third, look for more proof sets. These 1991 U.S. Mint proof sets can still be found in estate sales, coin shops, and online auctions. But the more time goes by, the harder it will be to find perfect examples. So don't wait, start hunting now before the demand drives prices even higher. And here's the best part, this is just the beginning. With coin collecting at an all-time high, and more people realizing the true value of rare coins like the 1991 Jefferson Nickel, you could be at the forefront of a massive boom in coin values. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to find these coins at reasonable prices. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin content. And tell me in the comments, do you own a 1991 proof set? Have you checked the condition of your Jefferson Nickel? Because your next find could be worth up to $59,000.